Hey, welcome back to the Black and Gold Standard Podcast. And we're going to continue this series of just breaking down the draft positions, the different positions in the draft, as far as just my top 10 and some guys that maybe the Steelers may draft, maybe not. I know it'll be some positions. I mean, honestly, the Steelers should be open to all positions, but it's some positions more than others that the Steelers will probably have a little more interest in. And today we're going to talk about left tackles. Well, excuse me, not left tackles, but offensive tackles. So as we all know, the question is, do the Pittsburgh Steelers have a left tackle issue? And the reason I ask that is um, Broderick Jones, for one thing, haven't played well. And then secondly, he has a neck injury. And I mean, it's a very serious neck injury, actually. So he's had surgery. Now I've heard reports that the Steelers believe that he should be ready for training camp, but that's not a sure thing. And so, we had Dylan Cook, which he stepped in maybe like the last month of the season and played that. Actually, to be honest, he played very well. Um, when they went up against the Houston Texans in the playoffs, he kind of came back down to reality. Now, the one thing about it, you would say the Houston Texans is probably one of the, I mean, if not the best defense in the league. But the issue with that is you still want to be able to. I mean, I understand you're going to get beat here and there, but you still want to be able to kind of hold your ground. And I felt like in that game he really didn't hold his ground. So it's just it's just a lot of questions of what the Steelers want to do. Like I say, if they have faith in Jones, and then Cook, and they just want to let these guys battle it out um in camp, that may be uh uh a way to kind of a way that the Steelers want to go. So with that said, we'll see. What's up, Claude? We'll see what the Steelers are going to do. So right now, I just want to get into my top 10 offensive tackles. And the one thing I will say about a lot of these guys, um, as you will see, a lot of them can kind of play guard and tackle, which is not bad. I mean, so you may bring a guy in, and maybe the first year he has to play guard, and then you can move him over to tackle. So the more stuff that you do, um, the more value you have. So I'm starting off at my number 10 is Penn State's Drew Shelton. This is a guy that I believe if had to, he could come in and play guard. 6'5", 313 pounds. He ran a 5.1340. Um, like some of the issues with some of these guys, and I wish I would have had that information, is where they're trying to, where a lot of teams are moving these guys to guard is because of their arm length. You got some guys that got short arms, and if you got short arms, they're probably going to end up moving you to guard. So I don't have that information on all these guys. So, but that's one of the things that they do look at, and that's why you see a lot of guys saying, they want to move them to guard because of at that tackle position, they kind of want you to have those long arms to deal with these edge rushers. That way you can keep these guys off your body, and you can kind of corral them, you know, outside. So with that said, I think Shelton would definitely, would he fit with Pittsburgh? Absolutely, because I've always believed that you have to, especially the offensive line. I want to see two guys minimum every year. I want them to just keep bringing in bodies, because your offensive line um, can get expensive, and you get to a point where you can't keep everybody. So, with that said, I want to see the Steelers just keep bringing in two at the most every year, because you have to think about it. A kid like McCormick, can the Steelers really keep him? I mean, say he develops and even have a better year than he had last year, it becomes a money thing. I mean, especially when you got Frazier, going to be coming up. You got Fire Tomo that at some point he's going to be coming up. So, sometimes you just can't keep everybody. So, it's better to have, and that's where the Steelers got in trouble when they did have that offensive line back in the day. They never replenished. And then when all those guys got old and injured, the offensive line fell apart. So I always want to see them bringing in guys um, every year. Every year. The minimum one, at least two. At least two. But like I say, Sheldon is a guy, a solid guy. I don't see him coming in being a starter, but he's definitely a guy that could improve, and definitely going to give you depth at the position. And you never know, he can develop. He may can develop into a starter. So he's a guy that I could see. I mean, especially with those extra picks that the Steelers have, I could definitely see them maybe bringing him in and giving him a shot, giving him a shot. Here go a kid that probably a lot of people haven't heard of, Cabe Tieran, out of Northwestern, massive guy, 6'8", 323 pounds. When I looked at some of his film, he's a great pass blocker. He has the tools, he has the long arms. He's just a massive guy. His only issue is run blocking. Run blocking is kind of lacking. And I don't know, is part of that is maybe because of just he's so tall. Um, you know, so you can't bend as well. But as far as pass blocking, he gets the job done. He definitely gets the job done. And he's another guy. Now I think he's strictly a tackle. He's strictly a tackle. He's not a guy that you have to worry about trying to move the guard. Again, a guy that will come in and give your team depth and keep working with him. You never know what he can involve into, but definitely a massive guy, and just a guy that I believe that, yeah, with some of those extra picks, with some of those extra picks, um, I could see the Steelers bringing in a guy like him, and I think it would definitely work out. What we got here? Tyrone, yeah, I worry about the left side. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I feel like at this point, the Steelers are going to have to bring in a starter either at left guard or left tackle, and I'm probably thinking more left guard. I could almost see the Steelers drafting a left guard rookie and starting a left guard rookie. One of the things they're not going to do is, I mean, well, I won't say they're not going to do, but they definitely don't want to get into um, starting a rookie left tackle and a rookie left guard. That they don't want to do. But I think they would definitely start a rookie at one of those positions. And I think you probably rather start a rookie at guard than at left tackle. I mean, like I say, unless you draft a stud left tackle, but I just think a left guard is a little bit more easy transition for a rookie. And like I say, you're gonna have a 43 year old um quarterback back there, and you got to protect them. So you can't have a lot of rookie mistakes and that type of deal. So it's just going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting of what the Steelers are planning on and how they're going to do this. And as you see in his write up, his pass protection is his foundation to the NFL. He like I say, he's a very good pass protector. But just the running game, I feel like he struggles a little bit, and I think part of it is he's tall, he's 6'8", so he doesn't bend as well. Jenny Dunker, this guy here, with the first thing is get a haircut, man. Don't bring that what is that? What they call that? A mullet, the worst looking red-headed mullet ever. But um, the kid can actually play. He can play. Again, he's another one of those guys. He's very strong, and that's one of the things that you want with your guard is strength. I mean, you want a guy that's strong, but also you want a guy that got a mean streak. And Dunker actually has a mean streak. So this is the guy that could he stay? Could he stay could he stay at tackle? It's a possibility, but he's also a guy that could move. He could move over to guard if he had to. But yeah, you're right, Claude. He has a mean streak, and to me, that's something that at least Broderick Jones does not have. Broderick Jones does not have that mean streak, and Dunker definitely has that. For some reason, I just see him more of a guard in the NFL. But like I say, I wouldn't be mad at that because I want your guards out. I think part of the makeup of a guard is you got to be mean and nasty, and this kid is definitely that. So I wouldn't have a problem with seeing him well, he's already in the black and gold. So just moving over to the other black and gold, I wouldn't have a problem with that. Um so this is a kid, but where would you kind of draft him at? I'm thinking you definitely got to get him in the second round. I believe. I think he won't last past the second. If he lasts to the third, it's probably going to be them top 5 or 6 picks in the third round, and then he's going to be gone. But I don't see him lasting into the third. Yeah, he's strong. He has raw power. And yeah, and see, they say it here, he has a nastiness to him. So to me, that kind of screen guard to me. And he don't have the elite size, but again, this is a guy that I could see the Steelers working with and seeing what they could do. So I hope I don't destroy this kid's name. Um, what's this? Max? Oh man, he horn a core. Max he horn a core, something like that. I'm sorry, I probably definitely destroyed his name, but you get the picture. Um, again, great story on this kid. Really, just started playing football. Just started playing football. Just a few years ago, and definitely a a, a project. But well, I would say he's really more than a project. He's just young. He's just from a football standpoint. He's young, but this kid has figured it out. 6'6", 321 pounds. He ran a 4.91, so he's a great athlete, and that's what you want at your tackles, especially at left tackle. You want a great athlete because every play he's going up against great athletes and these edges and guys like Miles Garrett and TJ Watt, so every every week as a tackle, you're seeing great athletes out there. So you want your tackles to not only be massive in size, but also kind of light on their feet and great athletes. And this is what this kid is. And like I say, he's still learning the game. He's still learning the game. Um, I think whoever end up getting this kid, and I think he could actually push himself into the first round. He's definitely a second rounder for sure. But he could be a late first rounder. I think somebody gonna have something with him. Like I said, I think um, he's probably not a guy from day one that you would want him to be a starter. But I think getting some good NFL coaching, probably halfway through the season and definitely going into the next year, I think you're gonna have a big time player here. Um, so I have no problem with seeing him in the black and gold. Wouldn't have a problem seeing that. Like I say, maybe a second round pick. But I have a feeling that when it's all said and done, this kid may push himself into the late first. But he's picking up a lot of steam. And it's starting to be a lot of buzz around him. The one thing that I seen that I didn't really like, I think it was at his pro day, and Mike Verbal from New England was working him out. I mean, he was down there getting dirty with him. I mean, he had the pad on, and he was running them through a lot of drills. So I could tell just by a head coach out there working that guy out like that. I think the Patriots are very interested, and I could see him. What the Patriots got the 31st pick. I could see him going to New England. I could see the Patriots definitely taking him right at that um, end of that first round because I think the Patriots see now that Howard, they're gonna have to move him to guard. He's not gonna be able to stay at tackle. So you put Howard at guard, and you get this guy here. Now you're working with something. And like I say, whenever you got the head coach out there, running drills, and I mean, they was going at it. I mean, you got to, if you get a chance, go on YouTube and look at it. I mean, they were going at it. I mean, he was really working this guy out. So I truly believe, right at the end of the first round, if he's still there, the Patriots is definitely gonna make a move for him. What we got here? He is. You are. Oh, you both are, Claude. Even though I'm a Ravens fan, I always around supporting and see what the Steelers are up to. Yep. Yeah. Yolanda is cool. Claude. She's cool. She's cool. Um, Probably the best Raven fan out there. So yeah, like I say, he haven't really even been playing a lot of football. So it's a lot of work that he still has to get done. But um, somebody is really going to have a good player, and they're gonna get a good one here. All right, Blake Miller, another big massive guy, 6'7", 317 pounds. And this is Clemson. Um, I don't know. Haven't I really didn't watch Clemson that much. I looked at a little bit of his film. I mean, okay. I wasn't really super impressed with him. But he's a guy that again, he's a guy again that I think he could he could definitely make some moves and find himself in the second round. But I still think he got a little bit more developing to do. But uh, we'll see. We'll see. Um, I don't really see him as a Steeler. Again, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Now this is the guy I kind of like. This guy here, Cabe Lomo, 6'6", 313 pounds, a 4.99, 40. Now I think with him, I think he's probably more of a I mean, I guess he could be a left tackle, but his biggest thing is if you watch his pass protection, he's okay. He's okay with his pass protection, but he needs to get stronger. He's a young player. He's just a guy that needs to develop in the weight room. He kind of get pushed back a little bit. Definitely had problems with a big, strong bull rush. You can kind of get up in his body, but he just need to get stronger. But he got great feet. He has great feet. Um, and this is the kid that again, if you could bring him in, he just could be your swing tackle this first year as he gets stronger and develop a little bit more. Going into year two, you're gonna have a player here. You're gonna have a definite starter, a guy that you can just say, well, we can plug this guy um, on our left side, and he's gonna be here for the next 10 years. But I just don't think he's a guy that you want to start right away because he definitely has to get stronger. Um, I feel like his just his lower body, just he just need to get stronger. He just need to develop more. But I think once he does that, um, this he's gonna be a player. He's gonna be a guy that he may even go in the first round. First round, definitely second round. Um, so this is another guy that don't really see the Steelers going that route, but if they did, I really wouldn't be upset about it. But I just don't think that how much could he really help you this year because I just think he just need a year in the weight room. I'm all in on Vega. The wide receiver class is deep. Yeah, I hear you, Tyrone. And we're going to talk about the guards tomorrow. But just the one thing, the Steelers need a wide receiver. You got to remember, the Steelers going to play a lot of 11 personnel. So that's 3 receivers. And we still have an opening for another starting receiver. So we need to keep that in mind that we still need another starting receiver. Now we also need a starting left guard. I get it. So but at least they did sign some guys that they got some bodies to put there to see how those guys work out. But we still have a big opening. We still have a hole at receiver. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So this guy here, Monroe Feeling, this guy is picking up steam. Like he's like probably one of the hottest draft prospects right now. He is moving up and up the draft board. 6'7", 315 pounds, 4'3", 4'9", 40. The only thing about him is being consistent. He'll give you some good plays and then he'll kind of lose it a little bit. And that's his biggest deal right now. He's kind of a young player. He just got to get more consistent. But he has, he's a guy with the big arms. I can see he's 6'7", the long arms. He got a little mean streak to him, but it's just he got to be more consistent because, like I say, he'll give you four or five good plays, and then it'll be another play. You be like, what the heck is he doing? So that's just being staying consistent, and you have a player. So I think with him, I think the Steelers won't have no shot of getting him. This kid is going to be top 15, top 15 um, pick, and he'll be gone. So the Steelers would definitely have to move up a lot to get him, and I don't see that happening. So um, with that said, I don't think he will be a possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, my number 3 guy, Kalen Proctor. This is a massive, massive man here. Now, my only issue with him, and it wasn't just him, it was basically the whole Alabama offensive line. Alabama got some studs on the offensive line, but they could not run the ball. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it was coaching, guys getting lazy, but that was, and then people always want to kind of get on uh, Ty Simpson a little bit because he started off hot, and then by the end of the year he was fizzling. But part of the problem was his offensive line. They couldn't run the ball. They basically turned one dimensional, and then on top of that, they only had really one receiver because the other stud receiver, Williams, it seemed like he forgot how to play football. So it was just I don't know. I think Alabama is going to be in for a coaching change maybe after next year. It just don't seem like it's just the right fit. But getting back to Mr. Proctor, 6'7", 352 pounds. The kid is athletic. I still think he may need to slim down a little bit. He may need to slim down a little bit, especially if you're going to keep him at tackle. At guard, I mean, he could almost keep that weight. I would take him down just a little bit, but he's athletic, so he can pull. So as a guard, I mean, you got a big time weapon there. And then, I mean, as you seen, Alabama was throwing them the ball. They were throwing passes to him. They were letting him run the ball. So he's definitely athletic. But he can definitely stay at tackle. But I just think he needs to slim down just a little bit because that's 352. That's a little heavy, especially when you're trying to block these edges and all that at that weight. Is going to be a challenge. It'll be a big challenge for him. But I just think he's a guy. Could the Steelers be picking him? Maybe so. Maybe so. As you can see, if you look at these numbers, I mean, at 352 pounds, he had a 32.5 vertical. So like I say, this kid is a crazy athlete. And then on top of that, if you can get him to slim down a little bit, yeah, you're gonna have something there. My number 2 guy, Spencer Fano. Again, he's to me, I think he's more of a right tackle, but he's a guy that he could maybe step in and play right now, especially at the right tackle position. 6'6", 311 pounds. A good athlete, ran a 4.91. Again, kind of like his running mate. I think he needs to get a little stronger. I don't know. Utah weight room weight program is maybe not the best. So these guys are a little lacking in the weight room. But as far as technique and feet movement and all that, they got it. They got it. And again, he's a guy. I think once he gets a little stronger, plug him in at right tackle, leave him there for the next 10 years. Leave him there for the next 10 years, and you got a player. You got a player. Another he did good at the combine. Like I say, he got great feet. So you know, he's one of those guys that you know, day one starter. I mean, I think he could do it. But you just be ready for some of the what comes with that starting a rookie. But if you can make him like your sixth your sixth lineman and let him get some experience that way and keep working with him throughout the season. Probably by the end of the season, but definitely going into next year, you're gonna have a player that you can just plug in and be done with him. And my number one guy is Francis uh Noah and strong. I mean, that's one of the easiest things you can say. This is a powerful young man. 6'6", 329 pounds, uh 5.340. I think I think he's going to end up being a guard also. He could play right tackle. I don't think he's a left tackle. Um, I think he could be a right tackle. And if you're a team that can run the ball, you run behind this guy. You run behind this guy because this guy is a monster. He's a monster out on that field, and he's super strong. Um, and I think some teams are probably going to look at maybe moving them inside, and then eventually you can move him out to guard. But I think he's probably going to be a right tackle. Um, so maybe you want him to play right guard, so he'll be used to being on that side. I just don't really think he's a left guard, um, or a left tackle. So this is another guy that I think a team will it's gonna have a hell of a player, and especially like if you want to run the ball, this is your guy. This is your guy. He's as they call it, he's a slobber knocker, and he's my number one guy. He's my number one guy. But don't really think he kind of fits in Pittsburgh, but we'll see. So that's the tackles, and tomorrow we'll be talking about the guards, and that's going to be a very interesting thing here in Pittsburgh because I think that's going to be a position that the Steelers are looking at very, very heavily. And I think that's a position that I think the Steelers probably, gonna make a move and go in that direction. So I got good news for you, chat. I'm gonna do the chat. I'm gonna do the chat um mock draft on Thursday. We're gonna do it like Thursday, maybe like at 8 o'clock. And this mock draft is gonna be. I'm gonna take all you guys. I'm gonna take all you guys advice, and this is gonna be the chats mock draft, and we're gonna keep that, and then we're gonna compare and see how you guys did. Did you get any hits? Did y'all take any guys that the Steelers actually end up drafting? And we're gonna take all 12 picks. I probably got a couple of more mocks before I come out with my last and official one, but we're gonna compare the chats mock draft with my mock draft, and just see how we did. Because like I say, at this point, it's all a guessing game. It's all a guessing game. Nobody really knows what the Steelers are planning to do, and if it's going, it may even be some more moves made before the draft. But we're gonna do that Thursday night at 8 o'clock, and hopefully we can get more people in here and get a consensus of you know who we want to draft. So I think that's all that's gonna be fun and something different. So with that said, you guys take care, and I will talk to you later. And thanks for joining me. All right, take care. All right, bye bye.